With its elegant silhouette, enormous road presence and expensive image, the Mercedes S-Class Coupe makes a big statement. But you may have noticed by now this isn't an S-Class. What it is a half-price S-Class Coupe, and that sounds pretty good to me. This is of course the Mercedes E-Class Coupe, so it's a little bit larger than the C-Class Coupe and a little bit smaller than the S-Class Coupe. In fact, the exterior does look very similar to the S-Class, and it looks very similar in here as well. The way the dashboard swoops around, it's got the same luxurious feeling. Now the dashboard is taken straight out of the E-Class saloon and the estate, with the only real difference being these air vents. They're really very ornate and look like jet turbines. Now for the full experience, you need to go for the two 12.3-inch screens, and they cost around £2,000 depending upon the model you go for. But what a showpiece it is, and it gives you access to 3D mapping, Wi-Fi and internet services, and it's all controlled with the rotary controller here, the touchpad that looks a little bit like a melted iPhone, and these touch sensitive buttons on the steering wheel. Now the quality in here is absolutely exceptional. In this particular car we've got the elm wood trim, and it looks very glamorous indeed. Storage wise, well, under here we've got a little cubby. There's a space to put your mobile phone and some charging ports. We've got a couple of cup holders here and a space to put the key. In the glove box, it's large enough for a large packet of crisps, and the door bins pass the Carbuyer big bottle test. For now, there's just one trim level, called AMG line. It's very well equipped and comes with LED headlights, sat-nav, adaptive dampers, ambient lighting with 64 colours, and some higher powered versions come with those two 12.3-inch screens and air suspension thrown in. In time, there will be a sporty Mercedes AMG 43 version too. Getting into the back of a coupe is always a bit of an ugly process, but it's made even harder in the E-Class Coupe because the seat mechanism takes so long to slide forwards. Once it's actually finished, there we are. Right, let's clamber in, and it's as inelegant as it is for most four-seater coupes. Let me just fold that forward so you can see what I'm doing, and bring that back. Now whilst that slides back into its position, let me talk about headroom. And I'm just over 5'10" and I've got enough space. I mean, if you're a 6-footer back here, you can slot your feet under the seat in front of you and slouch, and you'd have enough space. Now I've got a good amount of knee room. If you are, again, a 6-footer driver, you're still going to have lots of space back here. We've got a couple of cup holders. We've got a folding centre section here, which is great if you're taking skis or large pieces of furniture home with you, and we've got ISOFIX points in both seats. And as a four-seater coupe goes, the space back here is actually pretty damn good. Round at the boot, and in raw figures, the Mercedes E-Class Coupe has actually got quite a small boot. It's 40 litres smaller than a BMW 6 Series Coupe and an Audi A5 Coupe. And the A5 is a car from the class below, but when you actually open up the boot, it's pretty large in here. Now, it's got quite a wide opening, and this opening here is actually quite good for a coupe. Now, if I just grab the Carbuyer suitcase, you can see there's actually a lot of space for luggage. Under here, we've got some storage, which is very nice. We've got some hooks for shopping, some nets either side, and if that isn't enough space for you, you can fold down the rear seats. It's perfectly straightforward with a tug on these handles. Let me just run round and pull them down, and it's perfectly straightforward. And when you do that, you haven't got a completely flat loading area, but for a coupe, that is a pretty good loading space. Under the bonnet you'll find a 2-litre diesel engine, a 2-litre petrol and a 3-litre petrol with 4-wheel drive. Later on there will be a lower powered 2-litre petrol, a 3-litre V6 diesel and a bi-turbo V6 petrol for the AMG E43. Naturally, in a car like this, you want to have a 6-cylinder engine. It's far more in keeping with the car's elegant persona, and they're smoother as well. But don't be too quick to dismiss the 4 cylinders. The E220D is particularly good if you're a company car driver or just want to watch the pennies. Or this, the 300 petrol. Now up front is a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine pushing out 252 brake horsepower. It's very smooth, the power delivery is very good and strong, and this has the benefit of a sports exhaust system as well, so there's a nice raspy soundtrack. Even models without air suspension ride very well, but opt for it and you get ocean liner comfort. The E-Class Coupe is an incredibly cosseting car. And that's the point, this isn't a smile-a-minute type of sports car. If you want a more thrilling drive, look towards the BMW 6 Series, because this car is all about genteel travelling. It's far more comfortable and refined. And if you look at it as such, the E-Class Coupe is a very appealing car indeed. What's not so appealing is the expensive options list. The E-Class Coupe is well equipped as standard, but if you want to add some extra kit, you're going to have to pay for it. Our car was sporting some £10,000 worth of options. And I also can't help but feel the E-Class's elegance and pillarless profile is somewhat ruined by these pieces of glass that don't slide down. But they are just small negatives, because the E-Class Coupe is an extremely elegant and refined car that impresses immensely. If you're in the market for one, watch our review of the BMW 6 Series Coupe, and if you like our video, please share it, give it the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel by pressing the Carbuyer logo.